In this short video, we're going to guide you through some safety devices needed to fit an Outro White Rock PVC sheeting. When using power tools such as drills, a jigsaw, a multi-tool or a plunge saw, when preparing PVC sheeting, it's important for workers to follow safety procedures. They should wear appropriate PPE such as hearing protection, gloves, a face mask and safety glasses, and should also be trained on the safe operation of the tools as well as being aware of potential hazards.
Okay, so for those that have had limited safety training, we're just going to have a brief run through of what is required when installing hygienic wall cladding. So we'll start with the glasses. It's important that they're high impact glasses with a tight seal around them. Move on to the gloves. In the UK, gloves are rated from 0 to 5, 5 being the highest rating glove you can get. So that's what these are here. Good for doing stainless steel work. For the cladding, we recommend using a 3 rated glove. So use them. And then when mixing the glue, obviously you use the latex gloves. Move on to the ear protection. When cutting or using any sort of power tool, now it's recommended that anything that emits more than 86 decibels of noise, you need ear protection. These ear protectors emit sound by 33 decibels. Moving on to the face mask. This is an FFP3 face mask, required for when cutting all materials on site, plywood, plastic sheets, which brings us nicely onto the extractor. Okay, a lot of sites will specify just an L-class extractor, but now sites are requiring M-class extractors, which is what we've got here. When using the extractor, you will also need to use this FFP3 face mask, which you will also need to have a certificate face fit testing.
For any more information, you can go to our website, which is www.hycom.co.uk. Diisocyanates are critical in producing polyurethane adhesives due to their high reactivity. However, they do pose potential health risks due to their potential to causing skin or respiratory sensitization. Exposure can lead to allergic reactions, severe asthma attacks, and dermatitis, even at very low levels of those sensitized. Occupational exposure is a recognized cause of occupational asthma, presenting symptoms such as coughing, wheezing, shortness of breath, and with chronic exposure, potentially leading to lung function being reduced permanently. Additionally, diisocyanates can irritate the eyes, skin, mucous membranes, and respiratory tract, with the severity varying on concentration and exposure duration. There are potential concerns about their carcinogenicity, with some types being classified as carcinogenic by the International Agency for Research on Cancer. But there is more research being done to understand these effects. With high levels of exposure, it could sometimes lead to systemic toxicity and in some cases, potentially fatal pulmonary edema.
The good news is there's a course to mitigate these risks. ISOPA's Safe to Use and Handling of Diisocyanates course 49 will help you learn about the product and to mitigate the risks involved with using the adhesive. Numerous countries have implemented regulations and guidelines mainly for industry use. Whilst using diisocyanates, it's important to be using the correct PPE, like this FFP3 face mask, gloves, also making sure the room has adequate ventilation. This will ensure to safeguarding your health and others around you.
So Dave, what are the actual dangers? Where do the dangers lie?
Okay, the dangers lie in the hardener. Okay, so when you pour in the hardener, the chemicals become airborne. When they're airborne, obviously it becomes a respiratory issue to you and anybody else that's in the area. So it's important to be wearing, as we've mentioned before, the face masks.
Brilliant. And just to summarise, as Dave mentioned previously, make sure you check out ISOPA's course 49, which can be found on www.safeusediisonates.eu. And on that website, they have lots of general to advanced information all about reducing health risks. And please, make sure if someone is saying that there is a risk, let's all wake up to that being a fact. Hycom emphasises the importance of wall preparation. So it is flat, sound, clean and dry to ensure a successful hygienic wall cladding. Proper preparation means longevity, ease of maintenance, hygienic integrity, as well as reducing the reliance on silicone closing the gap. Adhesive ideally needs to be on an uncontaminated surface for durability and a clean finish. The adhesive specification does state that for a 6.5 kilo, 2-part adhesive tub, it takes about 4 to 6 hours to cure. But do note that for it to be strong and fully cured, it is dependent on environmental conditions such as temperature and humidity. And for it to fully cure, it will take about a day or two. So Dave, you work in the real world. How long is the adhesive workable for?
Okay, so once it's mixed correctly, you've got about 30 minutes realistically before it starts going really tacky. Once it starts going tacky, it becomes difficult to spread it onto the sheet. Okay, if it's not curing in that time, then there's an issue. Okay, usually after about 60 minutes, the glue has become really stiff and you won't be able to do anything with it. So we say roughly 30 minutes you have. Once the sheet is on the wall, you have about 24 to 48 hours before it's fully cured. Once it's fully cured and adhered to the wall, it's going to take some effort to get that sheet back off the wall again. It is important to note whilst working with the glue that you do not get it all over the place. Basically, if you do get it on the floor or any other work surfaces, to clean it up immediately using some latex gloves and some wet wipes.
If in doubt, you can call us on 01420 559 802 and we can help you with any issues regarding cleaning emergencies, and we have a vast array of experience within this field. Also, we can advise you on what pathway is best to choose for that specific material.
Yeah, once you start making a mess with this adhesive, it gets everywhere. Literally, if you start spilling it on the floor, you're transferring it around into other areas, get it on your gloves, it goes on your tools, get it on your clothes, you transfer it into your van. It becomes an absolute nightmare. So it's worth having some wipes with you to make sure that you're tidying as you go in.
So other than wall preparation, electrics, plumbing, first fix furniture, what are the other things that you need to be aware of?
It's definitely worth doing a wall scan before you stick a sheet to the wall. So you're looking out for nails, screws, raw plugs still in the wall, bits of plaster, any bit of debris on the wall. You need to make sure that it's off, because as soon as you've stuck the sheet to the wall, you will see it. You will see it, and then the glue won't adhere to the wall. It becomes a nightmare. You then have to take the sheet back off the wall. That's when you start becoming messy. So there's glue that starts spilling on the floor. So it's worth making sure the wall is fully prepped before you stick any sheets.
Has that happened to you before, Dave?
Many times, many times. I have left site looking like a frosted birthday cake.
2-part adhesive, what you need to order. Ear defenders, gloves, mask, paddle, trowel.